Duke 66, Michigan State 60 in a ugly, gauntlet, physical, brutal game that I thought you saw championship stuff from both teams, and I thought you saw some ugliness from both teams as well. In the end, give credit to the undefeated Duke Blue Devils, 10-0 on the season now, the first team in college basketball to hit 10 wins. They've got 5 wins against top 60 opponents. I don't know that even Duke fans would have said they expected to be 10-0 after a schedule that included Kansas, Arkansas, Florida, and Michigan State. No team in the country had a better week than the Blue Devils, beating Florida and Michigan State back to back this week. Very impressed with Cam Boozer's response after a first half in which he was just ghostly. I mean, I tweeted it at one point. Anonymous NBA scouts must have loved that first half because he was nowhere to be found against the Michigan State front court. He turned it on, flipped the switch, and I think at one point late in the first half went from 0 points and 2 rebounds to finishing with 18 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and 2 steals. He did foul out. Mission accomplished, Michigan State. They got across the finish line there with their many attempts to get to Cam Boozer. But yeah, he was a Ken Palm MVP after 20 very quiet minutes. It's kind of been the story of Boozer's season to me. He's just so damn productive. There have been teams that have stifled him for a half, and then he just spits out the best player in the country second half, and there's nothing you can do about it. That was this game again. Caleb Foster came up huge in the clutch multiple times. That has happened this year, but he hit the big three to seal this game and some big free throws late. Outside of that, Duke got some good things from Nick Hamenia, 3 for 6 from three, 9 rebounds. Thought this was a pretty impressive performance from him. He's had some very quiet games this year, and he was up to the task of dealing with Michigan State's physicality in this game. Beyond that, it was another very quiet Duke role player game. A lot of
Mm.
role players not giving you much right now for Duke, and it really doesn't matter because their defense is so good and they find ways. John Shire deserves a lot of credit, I think. Everything he dialed up in this game late, I think, worked. He went to his own defense late, partially to protect Cam Boozer from fouls, but that zone defense really stifled Michigan State. I think Michigan State made one field goal in the final 8 minutes of this game. Certainly, some of those shots were makeable, and we can talk about that. But a big portion of this preview was both of us saying that we believe Tom Izzo would outcoach John Shire. That didn't happen to me in this game. John Shire pulled the right strings, and after pulling the right strings to beat Florida late, he's looking like he has a pretty damn good pulse on things right now. He moves to 2-0 against Tom Izzo. We will cover a lot of Michigan State things as well. Quiet games from Cohen Carr, the shooting guards, and an 0 for 10 from the floor game from Jeremy Fears. We will get to all of that, of course, but let's start with the Duke side of this cart. How do you come out of this game, knowing that we both picked Michigan State before it? How do you come out of this game feeling about the Blue Devils?
Duke's just really damn good. They're really good, and the fact of the matter is, like, I feel like there's teams that are good, but the thing that I think separates Duke and maybe some other teams in the country you can put in that same box is that they can win games without really good offensive performances. If Duke plays good offense, they are going to win a national title.
Mm-hmm.
Legit, because they are that good defensively and at everything else they do. They have a good coach, they have a star player, they have all that, right? If they get solid offense, I don't know how you beat this team because they are that good on the defensive end of the floor and with every other things like rebounding, everything that comes associated with that. So it makes it very tough to beat. And in the first true road game for Duke, they didn't have not have a good offensive performance, but they still won this basketball game because they were able to do enough in the second half. They were able to get enough stops, and also like Cam Boozer woke his ass up. Like he had 16 and 8 alone in the second half. 16 and 8. And then Caleb Foster has 10 points in the second half. And all 10 of them were massive in this basketball game. And I think guys that are role players hit timely shots. And on the other end, Michigan State couldn't really get anything going against Duke defensively. So, I mean, I think all the credit goes to Duke in this one, and I think they separated themselves from certain other teams in the country, or at least put themselves in that box of, you know, oh, we're on the road and we're not shooting well, or we're not scoring the ball. And Cam Boozer didn't, have that great of a first half. He had an awful first half. That gets them down 3 at half. And they're battling in this one and they do other things and Cam Boozer has foul trouble. and he still spits out 16 and 8 with 2 assists. So just shows how special of a player that he is and how good Duke is that they are able to win games like this.
I at the risk of making this all about Boozer, because I really was impressed with Herminia and Foster and even a couple other things from other guys. We'll go down the list, I promise. But um, I'm gonna start with what my biggest takeaway from this was, and it is Boozer. And I'm gonna bring in the big picture with Boozer and just kind of talk how this validated why he has the reputation he has to me, Cart. Um, this was the most obvious game ever about like the winning intangibles this guy has, right?
Mhm.
Like so much is made about how he is just the greatest winner through the prep levels we've seen. Like I think he literally has the biggest winningest resume from a high school player ever. Any team he's ever been on wins whatever they're in. That's been the bill. And look, you can say it's about like other guys he's playing with, and there've certainly been great high school teams full of pros. But like the bottom line is this: the point is Cam Boozer may not put up the sexy stat lines, highlights that other guys do. He's still incredibly productive, but his teams just win. And there's been no one who's been able to solve that at any level. Like no opponent has been able to solve the Cam Boozer just wins problem. And I think this game may be his most impressive feat to me because number one, it's really hard to go into the Breslin Center. Number two, it's really hard to go into the Breslin Center when they're picking on a guy individually. And that happened in this game. And we will talk through the Jeremy Fears stuff where he was kind of pumping up the crowd as FU Boozer chants came out. That's a complicated thing that we will discuss separately. But the bottom line is this: it was happening, and Boozer was stinking, and his team was trailing, and all of a sudden he couldn't be stopped from that point on. And the entire second half was just masterful. It's this Duke team's poise that impresses me most, right? Like you think back to last year, Duke was amazing. They were the best team in the country. They were the best team in the country last year because of their talent, right? And I don't want to say Cam Boozer's not talented. He is. But their second best player was Con Knipple.
Mhm.
Their third best player is in the pros. Their fourth best player was in the pros. Their fifth best player was in the pros. Their sixth best player was Sion James. Like that team was talented. And the way you got to that team was get them into iffy situations and they would lose their poise.
Yeah.
This Duke team is like the opposite. And I'm not saying they're not talented, but truly, I give credit to Herminia and Foster for making big moments. The biggest moments for Herminia and Foster to me were their poise. It's not like those guys came out of this game feeling like, oh, they're all ACC players. Like, I truly think you probably agree with me. Looking at this Duke roster, aren't there pretty massive question marks everywhere outside of Cam Boozer?
Yeah, there are definitely question marks outside of Cam Boozer on his basketball team, but like they right now, it's guys stepping up in spots though.
Right. But I think that's the Boozer effect, is what I'm trying to say. And I
Mm.
think this has basically happened on every team he's ever been on. And this is the first like tangible, why is that true to me moment? Is because there's no player more poised than him that I think I've ever seen. I mean, dog, I'm trying to imagine put Cooper Flagg in this spot a year ago. I don't have confidence Cooper Flagg would not like spiral out of control with an entire arena on his ass. We saw that happen at times. Like we've never seen Boozer not respond and take over a second half with his poise and just a general sense of calmness through whatever you throw him into. It's just I got us. It's fine. Everybody chill. And like Caleb hit the open three when I kick it to you. Like it's not that complicated. And I'm just in awe of it. I really am. It's like goosebump worthy to me how mature he is. It's so real. It is so real. All the intangible shit that makes him special. And give Foster and Kamini credit because when they were entrusted to hit the big shots, they did. But that's by far my biggest takeaway, man. And I knew I loved Cam Boozer before this. I don't know how you could come out of the second half not loving him even more.
Yeah, just a really good performance, really good response. And we've seen it this year. Like he struggled in the first half against Texas and he picked it up late. And credit to him personally as a player. Also credit to Shire. I thought he did a great job of getting him the ball in the right spots in the second half too, as well, to make him more effective. And just straight up, I think even Shire said at the game, he's like, yeah, we also just got to give him the ball. Like
Mm-hmm.
just give him the ball and just let him go work and he'll do what he does. And you know, it's crazy that Boozer went so kind of nuclear in the second half here, and he's that good of a player that you also some kind of you've kind of come away feeling after this game though like, damn, we survived a half of Cam Boozer. He got his in the second. We wish we could have took more advantage of that because
Yeah.
usually it's two halves of Boozer, and we only were subjected to one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how much you feel like this was like a Michigan State let one slip game. Do you come away from this game feeling that like, damn, we had this and we fucked it up?
I thought more so Cam Boozer kind of took it in the second half, and also Duke role players stepped up and made shots when they needed to in big moments, and Michigan State players didn't. So, like, if that equates to we left one out there, then yes. I just think that we had opportunities to win this basketball game, and we didn't. And that's credit to Duke because they did do it. But yeah, I don't know. I do feel there is a little bit of like, damn, we could have won this game too.
I thought it was both, and we'll get to all the Michigan State stuff. There's a lot to get through. I think it was both. I think this is absolutely a damn give credit to Duke for their poise and the shot making and the clutch gene. Also, like just objectively, Duke shot 31% from three and 65% from the free throw line and trailed most of this game.
Mhm.
That's got to be a damn. We could have beat Duke on this night, and
Yeah.
you didn't because you didn't make the plays. But
Mhm.
Duke did. Give him credit. I feel like I had one other thing on Boozer before we move, but we texted at halftime, and again, it was a nightmare first half for Boozer. I thought. I felt differently in our text than I think you did. My impression of the first half was largely Michigan State's got him bottled up. I
Mhm.
thought the defensive game plan was great. I thought they were digging incredibly well. It wasn't like they were sending hard triple teams ever, but like there were three bodies in the paint every time Boozer got a touch. If he did a back down post move at all, there was somebody getting a second hand on him. And I thought he was overpassing. But that's also like you're gonna hate me for this probably. Isn't this also kind of the dialogue of like early LeBron James, where it was like, oh, he's overpassing, dude, just be a dog. But it's like he's just hitting wide open guys the whole game. Like
Mhm.
he's making the right basketball play because teams are so fixated on him. That was my interpretation of the first half. I feel like in our text you felt differently. It was like he just needs to go and he's not.
Yeah, I mean I think it's a mixture. I thought there was a little bit of like just go. Like just go, and you are gonna get to the basket and you're gonna put pressure on the other people around you. I just thought there was a little bit too much like dribbles that kind of go nowhere. Like maybe because I saw the double or I saw a dig coming. I just thought it was a little bit like, and it could happen because he's such just like he, at the same time, he can force a situation, but he never actually forces a situation. He's just like doing the right thing. But there is like a little bit of you, you're like, just go get the rock and go.
Yeah. Okay, I
So
guess I see that. I just thought most of his like tentativeness or struggles in the first half were like great passes to wide open shooters.
yeah, but and I might be falling a little bit victim to the moment here, but usually quick word of or like rule I like to live by is that there should never be a half where Kaden Boozer has more shot attempts than Cameron Boozer.
That's fair. That's fair. Even if we accept your premise that like Cam should have just flipped the switch earlier, I do think there should be big credit given to Michigan State.
Hmm.
Like it was not unforced that Boozer was not aggressive early. It was the way Michigan State was guarding him.
Yeah, I agree with that at the same time.
Yeah, it was really impressive. We're gonna stick to the MO of going through all our talking points for the winning team this year first. Hamenia showed me some shit in this
Yeah,
game.
knocked down some shots. Rebounded extremely. I didn't even realize he had 9 rebounds in this basketball game until I checked the box score.
Three offensive boards is hard to do for a skinny freshman against Michigan State that's not a star big man. Yeah, I've been critical of Hamenia. He started the year off the bench. He started the last two games. In his first start against Florida, he had 0 points and 2 rebounds in 12 minutes. Like I think he's been a non-factor for basically the whole season until today. And I think you just give him credit for that. Maybe this is a sign of things to come, but they really do need one of him or Sar to emerge. In this game, it was Heminia. And maybe it'll kind of be like the Purdue shooting guard thing where it's like a different guy every night. But if Heminia could start to do this consistently, I'd be a lot more in on Duke as like the team to beat in the country.
Do you think he can do it more consistently?
I think he can do it more consistently. I don't think I'm anticipating like a damn near double double 34 minutes from him much, but it was a great performance though.
Yeah, I think it's massive leading up into like the rest of the season because really what it is you're trying to get all these guys reliable playing well by winning time, which is March, which I don't know. I also had the thought in the middle of this game, and I wonder if you had it too. It has nothing to do with this year's Duke team. If I'm a Duke fan, I'm sick I didn't win last year.
Yeah.
Like because like look like Caleb Foster and Isaiah Evans were like the 12th guy on last year's team.
Yeah.
Big Pat couldn't even get on the floor on last year's basketball team, damn near for most of the full, most like I did have a thought to myself in the middle when like damn, I'm sick if I'm Duke because last year's team was gross.
Yeah, I've said it before, and I come away every Duke game. Like I'm very impressed with Duke. Don't get me wrong; they're clearly a top 3 or 4 team in the country. I would have no issue making them like the national title favorite right now, given they have Boozer. I don't think anybody wants to see a team with Cam Boozer in a win or go home situation. But I constantly always feel when I come away from this team like why didn't Shire just portal? Why didn't he portal like one or two guys in to help this team? Like
Hmm.
they're missing the Sion James. Just go get that guy. And maybe they were worried they were going to lose Evans or shit. Maybe they were worried they were going to lose Cam Boozer if he thought his brother wasn't going to get a role. Like if that's the reasoning behind it, I guess I understand it. But to me, kind of unacceptable the Duke coach would ever be like, I'm not using the portal this summer. Because if they had 1 to 2 starter caliber players on the wing and in the backcourt, Boozer and Ngongba is and even Foster and Evans is good enough to win a national title. They're just missing like the fifth guy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But who also Cam Boozer?
Yeah, but he's so good he covers it up. It really is true.
18, 15, and 5.
Yeah, hard to nitpick when they're undefeated with the schedule they've played. But let's nitpick. Quiet nights for Isaiah Evans and Pat Ngongba. What did you learn about those two in this game?
Look, I've said this. I said it on the preview. Isaiah Evans is just kind of what he is. I think he's a guy that's going to light it up and shoot the ball really well sometimes, and break a team's back by hitting a bunch of threes. I also think that he takes some really bad ones, and it's just kind of what they are. And then you know, Big Pat, I just think that he was struggling mightily in this game in the pick and roll coverage. I think Michigan State was killing him with the pick and pop. And in general, Michigan State's front court just played really well in this game. Like I know Cam Boozer was great, but as a whole, Kohler gives you 14 and 7. Carson Cooper gives you 16 and 16. Now I'm mad that our front court gave us that and we lost. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. But yeah, I think Big Pat is skilled. I think he can struggle in certain spots. And then also, as a guy watching him at the center spot, I know Boozer and Comenia were really good at rebounding. I know Boozer himself is just such like a vacuum on the glass. Like Big Pat finishes with 6 rebounds. Like sometimes I do wonder, like rebounding wise, what he's adding.
It's the most he's had in 4 games, too. Yeah. So I struggle with that because I can't tell if it's that he isn't a great rebounder or if it's just that Boozer's next to him.
Yeah. And even outside of that, also between Pat and Evans, I feel like both of them take their fair share of like, what are you shooting? Like Big Pat took like a 15 footer with like 20 seconds on the shot clock from like the corner. And like I guess it's okay because I was looking at Shire while he took it and he didn't really like flinch. So maybe that's okay. Or like Evans took a transition three with someone streaking up in the first half and it was clanked off it. And then he tried to throw an oop to someone and ended up in the his zone. I was
Yeah.
just like, what's kind of going on? But maybe that's just I think it is just what it is with guys outside of that, kind of outside of the boozer.
The thing I would say is clearly Shire trusts Pat, and I thought this was like a pretty bad Pat game. And he still played 26 minutes and did some winning things. He's a good rim protector. He only was 4 for 8 from the free throw line this game. He's a good free throw shooter. He's
Hmm.
72% on the year after this game. That's what he shot last year too.
Hmm.
So I think it would almost scare me more if Shire Like when he takes that boneheaded shot, he seems to take every game. If Shire like yanked him and was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'd be like worried about it. Instead, it's like Shire clearly trusts this kid and sees something good in him. I'm gonna go to the classic Ken Pom player comps for an interesting one here, Cart. So 2 years of Big Pat right now. There's one player that appears in both years of his Ken Pom player comps,
Mhm.
successive years of that player's career. Very interesting. Xavier Tillman.
I'm not mad at that.
And now the thing is, Xavier Tillman was also like a skilled, he really became a more creative offensive player as time went on.
Mhm.
Um, Tillman was just such a great rebounder. Now that makes me feel better about Pat's rebounding. I really think it might just be that he's next to Boozer, and that's why he doesn't rebound much.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
So yeah, pretty good that you had like a quiet-ish Big Pat game and you still won. On Evans quickly, gonna do the thing where I make it all about me and compare him to my favorite program again. Isn't Isaiah Evans just Zach Irvin?
Might be disrespectful to Zach Irvin.
I don't know about that. Zach Irvin was my like 5-star shooty shoot fun guy. His freshman year, sixth man off the bench, would just come in and shoot 8 threes, and that team was nasty. Then the rest of his career, they like needed Zach Irvin to kind of do everything. And progressively in the next couple of years, Michigan wasn't very good until Zach Irvin was a senior. Um, Now, again, Duke's great. I'm not saying they're not, but Evans doesn't give you anything but the shot making. And I am at the point with this with Isaiah. I don't think he's a good enough shooter to get away with that.
Mhm.
Shooting 32% on the year right now. All he does is shoot. I don't think he can get away with this for long. Like if he's making 40%, fine. Great. But you got to do something to impact winning beyond that, and I just don't think he does. He's not a defender to me. He's not a rebounder. He's definitely not a playmaker. In a lot of ways, he's the perfect guy offensively to put off of Boozer because you just want to give him spacing and let him catch and shoot. You can dial up fancy sets for him, but I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where Isaiah Evans is like the second option here consistently. And that was the story of Zach Irvin's career. It was like we kept waiting for that to blossom and it just never did.
Yeah, I just think he's a very and he can do it well. He's a very singular player, and his strength is his 3-point shooting. And right now, he's not the 3-point shooter that people view him as.
Yeah. Yep. Felt like
And
most possessions that ended in an Isaiah Evans shot in this game was a win for Michigan State's defense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the only thing I'll say is credit to him. At least he hits the big ones.
Hmm.
Like the one he hit was massive. I think he hit two in this game, but the one in the second that was massive.
Had some clutch ones. Duke bench, real quick. The one thing I would raise on this team that I think could hold them back in March, don't think they have a bench. Like I think Dame Sarr is pretty awful right now. I think Kaden Boozer's real bad right now. And I think Darren Harris, for whatever reason, is just out of the rotation right now. He only played 4 minutes in this game.
Hmm.
Malik Brown's good, no questions there. Between Malik Brown and Big Pat, you get 40 great minutes at the five. But I think in March we might get to a point where they're playing the starters like 36 minutes
Hmm.
because I straight up don't think this bench is good. Is there anything on the bench that has your attention in a positive way right now, or am I right on this?
Not necessarily. I think at this point, I think it'd be a surprise, or not a surprise, but I'm just gonna treat it as like if one of those guys takes some steps this year, then I'll be like, oh, that happened. No, I'm not expecting those guys to kind of pick it up.
Yeah. Dame Sarr has like 1 to 2 moments a game that pop, but he's just not, he can't put it together for a full game right now.
Yeah. Also, Caden's a disaster.
Yeah, what do you see there? You were real vocal about this privately this week. I think a lot of people feel the way you feel on Caden right now.
The thing is, I wasn't that high on him in high school as a whole. I mean, I could even think back to when you and I first had the discussion when he was because there was a world where he was being recruited by Michigan pretty heavy, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I was just like, I just don't, like he's solid, but I don't know. I think he's just, well, here it is. Here's what it is. He's a multi-year guy, and you hope that he gets to a certain point where he steps up. But I don't think you should really expect much from him this season. I think some people thought that, like, oh, the best version of this team would be Kaden Boozer, the point guard. That should never be said again
Yeah,
this year.
which is hard because Duke doesn't have a point guard. So it's not even like to me, it's not even like Boozer or Foster.
Well, they do. It's Boozer. It's what you've been saying. Boozer's their point.
Right, it's Cam, but like the idea of like it's not a conversation is not like, oh, Foster's better than Caden to me. It's that Caden can't beat out nobody.
Yeah.
Like that is what's going on right now. That's why they're starting Foster at point, and they've played with Kamini or Sar, and in the end, Boozer leads them in assists every game. The big Boozer.
The big Boozer.
Yeah, I mean, I test wise, Caden just doesn't have anything on his own. Like he's still a good passer, but he doesn't get to the paint enough. I think he's uncomfortable. He doesn't have like the in between shot he needs to be a threat. You're
Hmm.
totally comfortable as a defense letting him penetrate because you don't think anything's going to happen. And until, I mean, shit, until Evans and the shooters start making more shots, you're just not worried about it because that's all he would work is like penetrating kick guy. So yeah, I don't know. I do envision a world where Caden like stays at Duke 4 years and ends up being pretty good,
Mhm.
but I it's not there right now, and I don't think it's going to get there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Are you surprised Darren Harris only got 4 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just big on him out of high school. He was a favorite of mine. And I think given how others are shooting on this team, like I thought he could maybe get a chance because I don't know. In my opinion, if Darren Harris is given the same opportunities as like Isaiah Evans, I actually think you might get more from Darren Harris.
Yeah, he's shooting 39% from three on the year. I think Darren is clearly behind defensively compared to these other guys, but yeah, the team only shot 31% from three on a night where nobody else is making threes. I would like to see him get a little more of a leash. He made one. He was 1 for 3 in this game in 4 minutes. He might just be the guy like, oh, once he misses his second three, Shire's out on him for the rest of the game. And I guess that's a fair role. But if I'm Darren, I would want a little more, especially when I look at the emptiness that like SAR's minutes are turning into and Caden.
Mhm.
Um, I would also propose a trade. Can we get Darren Harris on Michigan State?
Please.
He'd play 32 minutes at the two and be exactly what you need. And I don't know, who would you give for Darren? You like a lot of your young pieces on your bench, so I don't know, but
For Darren, I take him though. Who they want?
like, I would you do one of the freshmen off the bench for Darren?
Yeah,
That to me would be the trade. Give them Jordan Scott or Cam Ward, and I think Duke takes that right now.
good deal.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Before we go down the list of Michigan State basketball related stuff, let's do the fears incident that went viral. I think we
Oh,
are.
last but not least, before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to Foster for playing well
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of pressure on him, and I think I brought this up on the full episode yesterday. He's in a spot where he can't necessarily win, and when I say win, is like Caleb Foster does good, and it's like finally Caleb, like yeah, you did it, like do something around everyone else. When he's been like really solid all year, and you just need him to make the plays when he's asked to make the plays, and give him some credit for actually doing so when he does it. So shout out to him because he is the like labeled scapegoat of this team, like the what holds them back. And I think it's still a real thing too, moving forward. But I think you got to give him credit to this point of the season, what he's done.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. He's kind of doing the Jaden Bradley, Kylan Boswell thing right now, I think.
Mm,
Just like vet guard, sticks around, goes through some ups and downs, and turns into a guy you really trust.
yeah,
And I think championship teams have that guy. And
good defensively. Yeah,
yeah, if Duke wins a national championship this year, it will be in large part due to Caleb Foster's emergence. And he's well on his way right now. He's been largely stellar this year. He was very clutch in this game, and give him a lot of credit for that.
yeah, facts.
Shout by you. Okay, let's do the fears crowd incident. We are going to have a separate short on this with some fuller thoughts, so we can be quick here, but I feel like we should just do it in the recap too, and then get to the Michigan State related things. The moment, of course, here was video of Jeremy Fears pumping up the crowd, kind of laughing and just really getting into the moment as a raucous chorus of F Kaden Boozer chants were coming through the Breslin. This is not something that I feel is overly unusual, not just from Michigan State, but I feel like basically any good hostile crowd in the country, I don't think it would be shocking to hear those type of chants from. Now, when I was an Izone member years ago, like I remember there were a couple times we got emails that were quote unquote from Tom Izzo being like, cut that shit. We don't want the expletives. We want you to be crazy, but don't do that. Now, do his own members listen to that? Probably not. So I really have no issue with Michigan State fans doing it, but it also simultaneously is not something you usually see. You don't usually see a player, I guess, actively participate or even just like soak in the moment of that. My interpretation of it was almost like Jeremy, like, kind of visibly noticed it was happening and was like, "Oh hell yeah! Like, let me egg this on even more." And again, it wasn't just crowd going crazy. It was directly after a player who just so happens to be the best player in the country, who just so happened to have a terrible start to this game before that moment and just so happened to respond to this moment in a huge way. So, what are your general thoughts on this? Obviously, the internet freaked out about this, and Duke fans being real sensitive about it.
Mhm.
That part's a little weird to me. But at the same time, I think this was a pretty, I don't know, villainous move from Fears, who seems to have completely embraced the role of the biggest villain in college basketball this year. What do you make of this moment?
Yeah, I think it's two parts. I was just shocked that like there was so much outrage over the F Cam Boozer chant because I don't know, I could be wrong here. I feel like there's a good amount of student sections that do get some of that type of energy going, and then on the same token, Duke always has great players, so they're always going to be in a spot where they have a player that's worthy of an F that player chant. And I don't know, I understand why certain people feel a certain way about it, and I'll get labeled as I'm saying this because it's my point guard and because it's my team. I have no issue with the actual like just getting hype about that situation or hyping the crowd up. I think that is who that player is. I think that if another player did that, I would feel the same way, and I could be wrong. That's very very much a world we live in here, but I have no issue with the doing it. I think it's unfortunate. I do have an issue with the fact that you did it and then like went 0-10 from the field. That sucks, and we lost. But I don't have an actual issue with the doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's just where I stand.
Yeah, I get that. I do not think Michigan State fans should like be upset with Fears for this. But I think I'm kind of where you're at on like I have such a hard time doing Fears. I have such a hard time doing discussions on him. He had 13 assists to one turnover in this game. It's amazing. He's the best passer in the country. He has surpassed Braden Smith as a passer. That's undeniable at this point. It's absurd what he's doing. And that's all very real. So are the limitations, and so is the other stuff. And Rondo is the perfect comp. But the difference to me with Rondo and where Fears is at right now is Rondo was like, I don't know, he never let the extra stuff he did like get in the way of winning. And I think Fears did that a little bit in this game. I think he got very spun up with the extra stuff. And yes, that's like the moment of being the villain. But that's also like I thought, as the leader of this team, right? He's the leader. He's one of the best leaders in the country. Thought Fears was solely fixated in the second half on trying to foul out Cam Boozer. I thought he had multiple shot attempts that you say this all the time with other teams. You're not focused on making the shot.
Hmm.
You're focused on trying to get hit.
Yeah,
That's every play for Fears in this game.
yeah. I definitely thought a lot of his 0 for 10. Now, credit to Duke. Duke is tough to finish over, right? And Fears has shown that he's been a better scorer this year, but he does still struggle to finish. But he definitely, a lot of his misses in this game, I think, were him seeking contact instead of focusing on finishing.
Well, and it was both ends. That's the thing. And again, he's not the only player in the country that we can have this conversation with. My point guard is one as well. There's other guys that we do this with on other teams. So I'm not trying to be totally antagonistic to him. But like Car, one of the biggest plays of this game for me was when Fears went under the screen and like basically face planted as Boozer stood there setting a screen. And I get like different people could watch that and say, oh, he got tripped. That should have been Boozer's fifth. Even if he did get tripped, he was certainly trying to sell it. And he's so fixated on selling things instead of just guarding. In my opinion, when he wants to be, he's the best defensive guard in America. And he doesn't need to be so fixated on selling things on either end. He's better than this offensively. He's better than this defensively. And to me, I thought the story of the second half as this slipped out of Michigan State's grasp was largely a team that was so focused on not making the winning plays. And instead, it felt like the entire team was, let's get Boozer out of this game. And certainly, if they had been successful in doing that until there was a minute left, it might have helped you win the game. But also, I don't think you needed to foul Cam Boozer out of this game to just win the game. You outplayed Duke with Cam Boozer on the floor the entire first half. You had Cam Boozer in hell. Like, this game was there. And at a certain point in this game, it flipped from let's win to let's get him out. And I think that was led from your leader. I really do. And that's a separate, more extended issue than the moment of pumping up the crowd. But to me, that moment of pumping up the crowd is the embodiment of how he approached this game. And there's a difference between that and winning. And he's good enough at winning. We've seen him lead this team to wins. I'm not saying he's not, but he's got to find that fine line because it's a very fine line between I'm the villain, I'm the antagonist, put it all on me. Yeah, I want that smoke. And like, dude, you're not making winning plays. And that was this whole second half.
Yeah, and I think he's a winning basketball player. I think that he's shown tendencies and things that lead to winning. And yeah, you know what? I think there might have been a little bit of and it's even outside of the chant part. I just thought that his play was in the second half it killed the team. Him and the guards. Like they just no one made enough plays, hit enough shots, and um yeah, it's in a game you lose by six. You go 0 of 10 from the field.
Yeah. And look, he still has strides to make. He's certainly better than 0 for 10.
Yeah.
But
One last thing. Here's where I gotta like step in and defend my guy a little bit. A little bit too much discourse about him as a basketball player. Like like I've seen a good amount of like he's not a basketball player, he's a scrub. He still gave you something in this basketball game. He just didn't hit shots. He gave you something. He gave me 13 assists.
yeah,
Like I'll take that.
I feel like I have the Fear Scout extremely down right now. He's the best passer in the country, undeniably. He, I think, is the most annoying, toughest matchup for an opposing guard in America. I don't think there is a player, including Braden Smith, that anyone in the country would say we would rather play less than him. And part of the reason you would rather avoid Fears than anyone is the extra stuff. He's just a mental warfare magician that you have to annoyingly deal with for 3 hours. And it's why Michigan State fans love him. In this game, I thought he leaned too much into the extra, and they just have to figure that out. Like clearly Izzo loves this shit, by the way. Clearly Izzo
Yeah, I
views
was wondering what do you think he said to him after this game?
I think Izzo loves it. I might have the wrong read on that. Hopefully he pulled him in for a conversation. It's like, hey, just dial back a little.
Hmm.
Because you are better at basketball than just all the extra stuff. But like, I get why people outside of circles can't come to terms with like good performance, good basketball player while he's doing this. Because like let's just be real about it. It is extremely villainous. It's like Grayson Allen-y level. It just is. And it's every game. And he's so impactful with the ball. The ball's always in his hands. On defense, he's always in the mix. And like even the play before half, it's like I feel like Sarr was standing out of bounds and he just runs into him to get to the free throw line. It's smart, it's good, but there's no one like him in the sport. And there really hasn't been in like a decade. And the question is, can you channel all of this into a championship? I think the answer is yes. Some point you probably can, but it's just a fine line, and it does go over the edge for me sometimes. Um, in this game, Duke had the mental toughness to withstand it. Like
Mm,
I don't think he got to Foster. I don't think he got to Boozer the way they wanted to until they fouled him out. He really just got to himself, and honestly, that culminated in the missed wide open layup,
mm,
which is the embodiment. Like it was the perfect moment to encapsulate this game. It's like you were so focused on the extra shit, you can't even make a layup right now.
mm.
And he's better than this. He's a lot better than 0 for 10. We've seen him make layups. We've seen him make threes this year. He shot it well. But at the same time, I guess I'll push back on your pushback. I get you got to go to war for your guy and defend him. I do also think it's objectively absurd. If it was anyone other than Jeremy Fears, I think you and I would be clowning the fact that anyone's willing to defend a guy that went 0 for 10. He went 0 for 10. Why do we even need to defend that? He went 0 for 10 in a game
Yeah,
you lost.
I don't think anyone's defending this play though.
No, but you're defending him. Like the idea that 0 for 10 wasn't a terrible performance. Like they're
Oh no, I think it is a terrible performance for him.
yeah, no, but you and Doster are both doing the butt. The
Well, because
fact
he did. I
the
mean, he gave us 13 assists. I feel like that needs to be pointed out.
the fact that you need a butt for an 0 for 10 night is we're treating him with
But the butt is 13 assists.
he's the best passer in the country.
So those 13 mean nothing though.
He went 0 for 10 and we
Yeah,
got
I mean, we
on
can leave the butt out. I just feel like I'll push back. Any other player in the country that did this same stat line, we would also throw in the fact that they had 13 assists.
I led with that. Did I not?
You did? Yeah.
I
He
just
played.
like
He played bad. He played bad. I want to get that very much known. He played
but
bad.
but
Played bad.
but like
But in a bad game, I also got 13 assists.
and if the assist record is Jeremy Fears' ultimate goal, he's well on his way to getting there.
Mm. Hmm.
If winning a national championship is his ultimate goal, this performance is not indicative that that's coming at any point.
Yeah, he played. He went over 10, man. He went over 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All
that
right.
that's bad. It's really bad.
I know. I'm just like, I have not seen a guy go 0 for 10 be defended this much ever, really.
Is who's actually defending him though?
You and Doster.
I think we can't just point out that he did something. That's all it is.
I mean, this was quite a Fears game. From the moment to Boozer responding and winning the game and his second half to Fears' second half.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this Fierce performance?
Terrible?
A scale of 1 to 10.
Fucking terrible.
What's the scale? I'm
Went
asking for a
over
scale
10.
of 1 to 10.
I mean,
Like a one?
I don't like the passing is amazing. I'm not saying it's not. But like I've been giving him his flowers as the best passer in the country for a month. So I expect that. Like I don't know. He had 13 assists to one turn. He does that every night right now. He's a better passer than the guy who's going to set the assist record.
Mhm.
He's going to immediately take the assist record. He's probably the best passer ever. It's amazing. He went 0 for 10 and was so focused on the extra nonsense, he lost his team the game. So, no, I don't feel like we should be coming on here like give him his credit for 13 as like thought he was a disaster, a total epic disaster. And the fact that we're not just saying that is shocking to me. I get that he's a great passer, but that's who he is. It's who like he does this every game. He deserves all the flowers for being the best passer. Is he anything more than that? In this game, he was not. He killed Michigan State
He was bad.
emotionally and offensively.
Yeah, he
Your
was
team
bad.
scored one field goal in the final 8 minutes.
Mhm.
Like this is not just like counting assists. That's not the record. Did he win this team the game or not? I thought he lost them the game. Um, so I don't know. I know I'm historically harsh on Fears, but like 1 to 10, this was terrible. Like a two?
That feels right.
Okay.
That's all I was asking. That feels right.
Well, if it's a 2 out of 10, I just don't. I wouldn't even go to the like, but like
The 2 out of 10 is that he did something passing. There you go.
it's got to be okay to just be like he was terrible tonight. That's my outlook on it.
I don't. I think that was okay. We're getting hung up on the butt part of this. He was terrible.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
we go.
All right. All right. He wasn't the
Especially
only guy that
our
he
team
wasn't the
can't.
only guy that struggled in the half court though. You want to lead on the rest of this?
Yeah, Cohen Carr was also bad, unplayable almost. He played 34 minutes in this game. I thought if honestly we could have got more from Cam Ward, Cam Ward would have played more than Cohen Carr in this game. The 3-2 zone had him in hell. He didn't look like he knew what to do. Um, he was just bad. He struggled finishing in this game. He had Caleb Foster block his shit off glass on an inbounds pass. He was just as much as Fears killed us, Cohen Carr also killed us.
Yeah.
And Cohen Carr killed us while giving us really nothing else.
You know, I say all this to say I do want to make this known and realize this. As much as I thought this was a disaster fears night and I thought Cohen really struggled, you got nothing from the shooting guards. You got not much from the bench outside of Jordan Scott. We'll talk about him. Front court was great, but beyond that, like really 75% of this Michigan State team struggled.
Hmm.
The team shoots 29% from 2 point range. You actually made your threes, 36% from three, but 29% from 2 point range.
Yep.
To only lose by six to a team that is arguably the best team in the country says a lot. Like, I do want to say that. I think it can be simultaneously true as we kind of criticize all these individual performances. This Michigan State team's nasty because, like, if you're not getting blown out by arguably the best team in the country with the best player in the country on a night you shoot 29% from two and your point guard goes 0 for 10,
Hmm.
like, I don't know that Michigan State could play worse offensively in this game outside of missing more threes. And you led the whole game against arguably the best team in the country. Like, it speaks to how tough this team is going to be to play. I think the formula for this Michigan State team night in and night out is just going to be being so physical defensively and get out in transition and win rock fights. Like, you guys want to drag every team into the mud. You did successfully drag Duke into the mud in this game. They just executed late better than Michigan State did. But I don't know. I do just, as I'm criticizing all these guys individually, I do want to make it known. I think I come out of this game feeling better about Michigan State. Is that crazy?
No, not really, because I feel like it's fair to say that for the most part this year, you've gotten consistent stuff from the four main guys, right?
Yeah.
Like for the most part, like it varies game to game, but for the most part, um, if I'm pinpointing two players that lost this basketball game for Michigan State, it is Fears and Cohen.
Yeah.
They murdered this team from 2 point range, and that's really what the difference kind of was.
Yeah. Also 0 for 5 from three. Both those guys had been making threes to start the year and not in this game. But
Yeah, but man, Cohen visually, like as bad as Fears was with his finishing from 2 point range, Cohen played like the player that he was talked about, where it's like, yeah, he's an athlete, but does he know how to play basketball? He was like taking
yeah.
two dribbles, picking it up in the corner against a 3-2 because he didn't know what to do with it, throwing errant passes. He struggled finishing against Duke's size a lot of the times. He looked just off on a lot of his finishing. Um, yeah, I mean, it came down to those two guys going 4 for 23 from the field. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this type of game is why I'm skeptical Colin Carr will ever be an NBA player. Like, if you're an NBA scout in attendance to watch this game, I don't think you come away with it being like, oh, Cohen could ever get there. Like, he doesn't have anything against NBA size players, good defenses, which Duke has endless amounts of, right?
Right.
Every
Outside of trend, like he had, I think, one like little hook shot, one maybe finish, but outside of that, I think his four field goals, like two of them came in the first half in transition, I think.
yeah, he's just a total non-threat in the half court. It has remained exactly what it has been throughout his career,
He
and
was 2 for 7, 2 for 7 in the second half.
yeah, and I think even like he had some tough finishes. Like he had a baseline finish through traffic, and like you said, a hook shot. He has some of those, but
And he's like you cannot put him on the wing in the zone
right,
because he doesn't know how to attack it, and he doesn't know how to attack it properly.
right.
He's
And
more suited to be at the free throw line in a zone, and he's never really there, it seems like.
well, and it's still, I think certain roster builds you could figure out Cohen against his own with other players. But when you have shooting guards who can't make a shot, a point guard who's 0 for 10, and a non-shooting center, you can't.
Hmm.
So it is like I would guess you probably see a lot of Big Ten teams throw a junkie zone at Michigan State. If we're scouting for my team right now, I would hope Dusty plays zone 30 minutes against Michigan State and
Hmm.
just puts three bigs in the paint and says, "Good luck finishing over those three." Like I don't know that Fears and Carr would have answers for that. Now the answer at all times for Michigan State is just going to be, let's just get stops and run.
Yeah.
And if they do get stops, they can still beat you just off stops and running.
Right.
Like,
Or like, I mean, not to do the thing, but like just get if Fears goes 2 for 10, go 3 for 10. Like
yeah.
Carr, one more here or there, Tang, one shot, one something, one anything.
Did you think most of Cohen and Fears' shots were easy? This was a debate in the Discord. It was like they missed a lot of good looks.
I don't think Cohen had any good looks.
I didn't feel that they were good looks. I felt both these guys were forced into shots they can't make.
I think I think Cohen didn't really have that many good looks. I think Fears has tough looks. So he's also playing for fouls. So like I expect them to make some of their tougher looks, but I don't think all of them were just like super duper easy. I do think there was a little bit of a point at that 3-2 that there was, I think Coop had the missed reverse layup. Um, Cam Ward missed layups too in this basketball game in the first half.
A lot of that
But
was Duke. Duke is the
yeah,
big at his front.
it's like Duke's tough to finish against. They're that long and big. It's tough to finish. So you are forced to make tougher 2-point shots, and guys weren't up for the challenge on that.
Yeah. Do you give Shire credit for going zone?
I do. I did, but then somebody put in my head that he was forced to do it. But I feel like we still got to give him credit for doing it.
I'm gonna give him credit for it, even if it was like, let's make sure Cam doesn't get his fifth. Still think it worked and he went there at the right time. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't like that was the tactical adjustment, and then Michigan State scores one field goal in the final 8 minutes. Like,
Shire outcoached Izzo in this game, and I didn't think there was a world that happened.
yeah. Yeah. As weird as it is, I think part of that is Shire knows what he has with this Duke team more than Michigan State does with Izzo right now. And that sounds crazy coming off of a month where you just went 8-0 to start the year.
Hmm.
Like you obviously know how Michigan State's going to win games, you know your toughness, but Izzo is very clearly still searching for personnel answers at the two and not happy with his answers at all. I mean, has Izzo ever visibly hated a player more than Trey Fort?
No, I don't even think he hated AJ like this.
I mean, I get why. Like Trey Ford had that one possession where he was dribbling up and Fears was jumping up and down for the ball and Trey wouldn't give it up. Like, and then I think he checked out and didn't come back in after that.
Shit, I might have felt Trey too.
Right,
Like, I would have been like, no, I love you, Jay, but like also you're jumping around like you're making shots or something.
right. So
But look, I think it's you need more. I mean, you need something from that. I mean, but the thing is, like, I'm not coming out of here like, damn, Trey Ford should have played better. It's Trey Ford.
yeah,
It's Trey Ford. Like, what am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to stare at a cucumber until it turns into a zucchini. It is what it is.
yeah. Yeah, I think if Caleb Glenn was healthy, I think he might be the answer at the two, and you just go super huge defensively. It sounds like they're just going to do Jordan Scott. Carson Cooper had a bunch of praise for Scott after this game. It feels like Izzo's backing it up. We could even see a starting lineup change. Scott was really good, hit his two threes, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal in 25 minutes. I think Thind had a point on Twitter where Scott's making more plays than the box score even shows. I will
Hmm.
say, I think in Scott's good performances, the box score has backed up his performances too. Like I don't think he has a total quiet non-box score tied game, but
Hmm.
I don't know. Are you thinking Scott will be like a 30-minute guy on this team soon?
So I don't want to get into the whole Michigan State former football conversation that we had. Like, what was it like? I want to see what we have with that guy. But I will say this: Kurtang is 6'4", and uh, Trey Ford is what, 6'4", 6'5".
Uh-huh.
if we're just gonna be a defensive team, maybe just lean into it with the 6'7" guy who's actually like every time he's on the floor, he's in the right spot defensively.
Yeah.
Like I think I did Jordan Scott is a guy that, he's in the right spot defensively. He brings that. If he can hit shots, that will, I think, change things more here. But I mean, just in the box of like this game, this is two straight performances where he has actually, I think had his line or his minutes felt in the box score more than other ones. Um, and I think he's just a guy that has good length at 6'7", and he's a guy that we projected to be a guy that can knock down shots too coming into the year. And if he's able to do that, I think it adds a little bit something to this basketball team that maybe Tang and Fort aren't giving you right now.
I mean, there's objectively no reason to play Trey Fort if you don't like the minutes you're getting from him. That's the
Right.
reality. He's gone at the end of this season, and if you don't think there's something from him that's going to matter for this team in March, you should just get rid of it entirely, kill the experiment. And I think we're dangerously close to that. Like I think this guy drives his own nuts. I think he thinks he's a non-defender. He's not making shots the way he needs to. And I mean, yeah, you got to get the ball to your point guard. If you can't even do that, you can't play. That's the bottom line. So.
And I still think Kerr is worth the shot. Maybe that's the thing. I don't really know what to do with this because also, randomly, like even to start this game, Trey Ford like showed that he could do some things, had a little alley oop or whatever. It's just like I don't know. At the same time, you and I are coming on here. Do we really want to push for the guy that's averaging 3-3 and shooting 20% from three and two?
You can't go away from both of them. Like one of those two is going to have to play spot minutes at minimum, or you're going to have to go all the way to Divine. And I thought Divine had a good moment in this game too. My guess would just be by March you pick one of those three, and you get completely rid of Fort and either Kerr or Divine.
Hmm.
If it were me, I think I'd lean more into Divine. To be honest, I think I like Divine more than Kerr. At the risk of being too mean to Kerr Tang, he will be a guy I think we'll look back on 20 years from now and be like, I can't believe that guy started on a really good Michigan State team. Like every program has a couple of those guys, like every 15 years. Like I always say this with Michigan, like a decade ago, Matt Vogrich started for my team for a month. And I still can't believe it. Like, and then he was gone right after that. Like it just Kerr should not be in a Michigan State rotation. And he is because he's kind of stuck because of some other roster building issues with this team. But he's just not. He's clearly like I think he's like a Mac guy, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, I do at this point, and that's just being just frank about it.
And you're grinding your way through it, give him credit. So I do think the answer is going to be turning all the way to Jordan Scott. The only thing I would point out, he was 2 for 4 in this game. He was 1 for 2 from three the game before this. He's shooting 21% from three this year.
Hmm.
Like I get he's better than the other two, and he's bigger, and he in theory helps your defense. If he's going to be a 20% or even 29% three-point shooter, it isn't going to be that good. Like I do want to make sure we kind of draw the line between like he looks great versus like it's just better than the other options we have right now.
Hmm.
In this game he was really good,
Yeah,
but he's had some really quiet minutes this season too.
yeah. In your heart of hearts, better than the other options though.
Yeah, think it's the best option Michigan State's got, and I have no doubt that by the time he's an upperclassman, he's going to be really good at Michigan State.
Right. And maybe I don't know. I don't at this point, like with the two spot, even your suggestion of leaning into Divine, like if you're not going to get shooting from that spot anyway, at least put someone out there that does something.
Yeah. And I know he's been really good defensively. He is big. Part of the hesitation for me is I don't think I love him guarding twos all year.
Mm,
Like I just think we're gonna be stretching him a lot thinner than we want to right now. He's not a two. It might be what's best for this team to play him at the two, but like he's gonna play some teams in this league where he's gonna have to chase like Kylan Boswell, and I don't know. Like there's gonna be some matchup problems against good Big Ten teams. Against Duke, I think it kind of works because like I don't know, put him on Hamenia. Like, and Hamenia played good. And I'm not even saying that was the matchup, but I think there will be teams you can get away with that. I don't know that it's going to be as great defensively as everyone says it will be, having Jordan Scott chase shooting guards.
yeah, I think there's a risk that with that out there, can I play devil's advocate here?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares also? I don't know if Kurt Tang or Trace Ford can do that either.
Right. They're bad at defense regardless. I
Let's
don't.
let and can I get selfish?
Mhm.
Want to just wake up on a random Tuesday and be like my two guard 6'7"? It's been a while.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I would say, I think it's the outcome. I think it'll make Michigan State better. Good for Jordan Scott. More Jordan Scott is obviously good. I don't think it's best for his long-term development for him to like learn how to play the two all year though.
Hmm.
Like future years, he should never do this again, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
So they'll navigate it. They'll figure it out. How do we go this far without giving Carson Cooper massive praise?
Yeah, I think we shouted it out or a little bit when we were doing the Duke. Michigan State's front court hooped
Front
straight up.
court's your front court is nasty in multiple ways.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Because like they just are. Like they're tough as hell. They rebound. Kohler's shooting. Kohler's our best three-point shooter. Like,
Culver's fully emerged into Joey Hauser 2.0 for me.
yeah, it's special, truly. And if I am that, and defensively, I thought they were good in this basketball game as well.
Kohler might be better than Hauser too. I don't mean to like say that as a bad thing. Joey was great in his upperclassman years though. I just mean like it's kind of crazy to me. I don't even feel like Kohler's 2-point offense stuff works right now. Like all his special footwork, we thought like by the time he became an upperclassman, he'd be Nick Ward.
Hmm.
Like at half the time his moves don't even work. He still gets bothered by size but he's just such a dead eye pick and pop guy now. Like
Put my dog on the wing. It's over. It's curtains.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like early in his career we were like, should they make him a five or should they slim him down and make him a three? Like shit, put him at the three, dude. Like he's crazy good offensively. I love what he's become. And I think Carson Cooper, what he did in this game is so ridiculous, man. He guarded Cam Boozer.
Yeah, honestly, this is the most part that I'm mad about Fears. Fears' performance has everyone focusing on him instead of what Cooper did.
Carson Cooper guarded Cam Boozer for 32 minutes and produced 16 and 16. I think genuinely outplaying Cam Boozer for most of this game while guarding him. Like I've not seen anyone do that this year. I don't know that anyone will. And I'm amazed. He just deserves so much credit for what he's become. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, credit to him, credit to staff. I've already said it like in the last three videos. I just completely won it. Like just what he's done, his improvement has been absolutely crazy to watch.
Yeah. It's
Like
absurd.
this dude had an offer sheet that looked like Tanner McGrath's list of favorite teams. And now he's like one of the better starting centers in the Big Ten.
Yeah, he's got a chance if this season goes where we think it could. He's got a chance to go down as one of the more beloved Michigan State guys ever, which is crazy because I know even like give credit to DK when he was younger. Like we would really get on Coop and make him the butt of our jokes, and DK was always pretty adamant. Like there's more here than
Mhm.
like Mahdi or the other bigs at the time. So credit, honestly, DK has always held strong in his belief here, and he was totally right. But I think. He just if this season, like say they make a Final Four run, Coop's going to be a all-time beloved Michigan State guy. He's kind of on the
100%.
Costello trajectory for me right now.
Yeah, which is crazy to me because I if you would have told me that 2 years ago or a year ago, I would have actually spit on you.
Yeah, insane. In conclusion, is this as simple as Coe and Jeremy figure it out, and then you think your national title good?
My front court gave me 30 and what, 24
Yeah,
against this Duke
30 and
front court?
23
30 and 23 against this Duke front court.
in 63 minutes.
Damn it.
It's
Damn
crazy.
it.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't know. I don't want to I never moral victory anything. Like they should have won this damn game.
Something about Duke feels like the one program other than, I mean, the Elite Eight game will live in everyone's memory forever. That probably cancels out all the other losses. But just been a lot of Duke losses compared to every other program.
Yeah, you know what? I'll do this. Okay, I'll take it. Owned by Duke is yeah, it sucks. But at least I'm not like owned by another program that's bad.
What is
Imagine a team. I don't know. Imagine a team that can't get like over the hump against like Rutgers or something.
It's a good point.
At least like the Brotherhood's got my number.
Does Michigan State lose at home again this year?
Quick answers, no.
You have Illinois, Michigan. Those are the only top 25 teams the rest of the year at home.
Mm, I come in those games expecting to win, but I would not be surprised if they lost to either of those two teams at home.
How much of this game do you think makes you curious about like the Michigan matchup? Because in theory, Michigan's good at all the same things Duke's good at.
Yeah, it does. It does make me it's not necessarily the best. Like it's a vote of confidence. Like, yeah, we're in the game, we could have won it, right? But also we will face teams that have this level of size and defense, and it's not good to see that. Um, yeah, so I think it's a fair like, you know, data point.
I don't think Michigan has the poise, composure, or star that is Cam Boozer. Now, Yaxel may be in the vicinity at his best, but I think the thing that I'm circling as a Michigan fan on this is 29% from two.
Hmm.
If Duke forced that, that's all I'm looking at for Michigan. Like you do that to Michigan State, you can do that with how good
Yep.
Michigan's 2 point defense is. But again, Michigan State was right there despite that, which is crazy. I would have thought if you told me pregame Michigan State shoots 29% from two, I would have thought Duke by 30.
Hmm.
So pretty scary. Like I said, I feel better about Michigan State coming out of this because of that. Like they were right there on a pretty stinky night from Cohen and Jeremy. And we'll see. Credit to Duke. Any final words?
Yeah, it sucks to lose that one. Duke fans, I'm glad y'all have this over me, and I'm glad you're enjoying this. And yeah, victory lap should be taken at my expense. I am okay with that. That's part of the business. That's part of what I do. So yeah, that's all I got, I think.
Do you want to see Duke again? Like you want another chance at these guys at
Yeah,
home?
100%.
Okay.
That's a good win. That's a good win. I still think that my team could beat y'all.
Yeah, it was there.
Yes, then.
But fuck Cam Boozer was 0 for 10.
Yeah, sure. Also, and oh, sorry, last thing. I hope they're okay. I hope like the hostility doesn't carry on to like the rest of their season because Michigan State fans in that is zone and that Breslin Center were just so mean and hostile. They would never.
Aren't they just jealous?
No, they're not jealous. Not of
Cart,
that, not of that nastiness.
Cart, Duke is supposed to be the program with the floppy, dirty, kicking, villainous superstar point guard.
There. Would Duke be better with Jeremy Fears?
Yeah. Any team in the country would be better with Jeremy Fears.
See, I don't think Duke fans think that.
No, I think they're like, wait a second, we're the only program that's supposed to have those type of players.
There's jealousy
I
involved.
think that's what this is.
That's crazy.